Atlantis, a legendary island continent that disappeared to the bottom of the sea. It was probably the closest mankind has ever come to creating a paradise on Earth. But the continent of Atlantis was not to last. In a single cataclysmic event, the likes of which the world has never seen, the entire island exploded and sank into oblivion, taking its history and all its people with it. Could Atlantis have existed? For centuries, explorers have searched the globe for Atlantis. The island of Santorini in the Mediterranean seems to have been formed by a volcanic eruption. Scientists have discovered the long-buried ruins of an ancient civilization there. Could this be part of Atlantis?
In 1929, a group of historians found an amazing map drawn on a gazelle skin. Research showed that it was a genuine document drawn in 1513 by Peri Reis, a famous admiral of the Turkish fleet in the 16th century. His passion was cartography. His high rank with the Turkish Navy allowed him to have a privileged access to the Imperial Library of Constantinople. The Turkish admiral admits in a series of notes on the map that he compiled and copied the data from a large number of source maps.
Leaked maps and documents allegedly obtained by the KGB, and if accurate, the Russians believe that a high-tech German faction did not surrender and not only escaped to Antarctica, but were responsible for many of the flying saucer sightings of the late 40s and early 1950s.
lot of strange news of recent regarding Antarctica. Strange sightings, strange trips to this unknown land. This frozen tundra. We have John Kerry visiting it. We have the Russian Orthodox Church bishop visiting it after having a meeting with Pope Francis, the first time in over 1,000 years that the leader of the Catholic Church and the Russian Orthodox Church actually met. They both met in Cuba. Russian Orthodox Archbishop went and visited Antarctica. Also, during this trip, when John Kerry was going to go on November 13th, there was a famous mountain climber who had conquered Mount Everest, Sir Ranulph Fiennes, who wanted to go as well on November 13th to Antarctica, but he was denied. And this was the exact time in which John Kerry went. Why was he denied is the question. Why is it even Barack Obama recently went to Antarctica? And of course, we also have these strange sightings of recent. Within Antarctica. As you can see, 3 pyramids right here, sort of like the pyramids of Giza in Egypt. Very strange. You even have these smaller pyramids next to the larger, all found in Antarctica. This is a recent find. This is located not too far from England's official Antarctic base. Of course, then there's also some conspiracy with regards to these pyramids, that perhaps this is where maybe some of these dignitaries have been coming and visiting of recent, knowing that this was recently found. Of course, we know the past of Nazi Germany visiting the Antarctic, bringing in many ships, building some sort of secret base in Antarctica. And of course, we also have Operation High Jump with Admiral Byrd coming in, and we don't exactly know what occurred there, but shortly after, we have this Antarctic Treaty for which no one now can easily go to Antarctica.
The infamous Julian Assange has made comments in the past related to the announced release of many of his controversial intelligence leaks. He has now stated that there will be UFO-related materials. Recently, WikiLeaks revealed alleged compromised Department of Defense cable communications indicating that US armed forces may be in the midst of a secret war with UFOs. According to the sources that were revealed, there was an all-out alert issued by Air Force Space Command after the emergence of a large flotilla of airborne unidentified objects from the floor of the southern seas of the Antarctic. This armada of unknown objects headed toward Guadalajara, Mexico. It is said that Julian Assange has been falsely accused of sexual assault charges by authorities in Sweden, which resulted in his arrest in Great Britain. That one of his accusers, Anwar al-Din, has fled and is presently in hiding among the Palestinians, is a strong indication that the charges, according to those familiar with government tactics, is a ploy to silence Assange's evidence. US warplanes are said to have been deployed to meet a massive fleet of UFOs on the 10th of June 2004, and all radar systems intensified on the inbound targets. The massive fleet supposedly then resubmerged into the Antarctic oceans. Recently, another massive emergence of the unknown objects headed toward the southern tip of South America and flew over Chile. Experts say that the immediate threat posed by these huge displays is the dangerous waves they generate as they surface, which is capable of sinking oceanic vessels. In the most recent appearance of the UFO armada from the Antarctic Southern Ocean, one cruise ship was nearly capsized with 160 aboard, while another vessel was overturned with a crew of 60 with only 20 rescued survivors.